Hello, my name is Jason Hayes, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use the socket render function in the FaReT package for Make Human. There is a bit of code already included in the Pi client where we import the Pi client's Python MHC class and we then initialize it as a client, which is the default with open and closed brackets. And we call this client Make Human. There are some settings for the rendering where you have anti-aliasing turned on. The dimensions of the image are 256 by 256 pixels, and we also include lighting. It's set to true here. The image number is 0. If you're going to have more than one image, you're going to need to loop and increment this number. Down here, we're loading the model, or telling Make Human to load the model, and we just pass it an MHM file. Here we're using a female average from our data set. We load an expression. It gives us the neutral and disgust parameters for the expression from this disgust tongue MHPose file, and it has to be an MHPose file. We tell Make Human to set the expression as an interpolation from neutral to the disgust, and we're setting it to be 50% of the way between the two, but we're also including alpha and beta parameters. And by default here I had it just using the lip, but if you wanted to, you could have more than one by comma separating them. Let's see, for instance, you could have comma mouth, but these are raw regular expressions. You can make them whatever you want. In this case, we'll just say lip and mouth. And we'll set the alpha and beta for both of them to be 0.5 and 1.0. If you wanted to add more with different parameters, you would just have more keys like this one, and just set each of the alpha and betas for the other keys as well. And then we just have to set an image path for the rendering function. In this case, I've set it to somewhere in my documents to make sure it has permission. I'm passing the settings and the image number, which again you'll increment yourself if you want more than one. And then the stuff below is just to close the socket. You might not even want to close the socket until after you finish several images. So you would want the loop to be within the try. And so then we just want to make sure we go to Make Human. We go to Render, Socket Render, and click that Socket Render button. It'll highlight in orange, and that's all we have to do in Make Human. We go back to our code, and then we can run it. When we run it, it will just be sending commands to Make Human. Make Human will do the rendering with the model and expression we told it to set, and it will output the image to the path. So let's go ahead and run it. I skipped ahead here so you wouldn't have to wait. And here's what Make Human changed the model to. It was originally default, but now it's got the mouth, it's got the face, the render socket render button isn't clicked anymore, and the model's all done. And this is the image it outputted. As you can see, it's a fairly low resolution when you scale it up to the full screen, but it's just 256 by 256 with lighting. So, I hope you can make good use of the socket rendering feature. Not everyone will need to use the socket rendering, but you may want to use it if you want to have stimuli generated online in, say, a PsychoPy experiment that you're running locally. That way you can adaptively produce stimuli as the participant is responding. Thank you for listening.